Thank you so much for doing this interview for SyokimauFM.Africa and also Syokimau Trade and Conference Expo. Maybe you can tell the people here how the Expo has been so far.
I think that the Expo has been good in creating the right community environment. I believe the purpose was to actually bring about a community, building sustainable communities as we call them.
Yes.
And I think that the aim of this Expo has been met, in my opinion.
Yes.
The residents of Syokimau, Residents Association, have actually had a reason to come together.
Yes.
In a controlled environment.
Yes.
They've been exposed to a lot of new things.
Yes.
And I think their children were also given a lot of opportunity to express themselves as one group. Yeah. I know they had a concert. I know today they have a fashion show. So I think they have tried to meet the expectations of their residents.
Amazing.
Definitely. Yeah.
Amazing. So maybe you can tell the people who you are and the company you represent.
So we are Laiser Hill Academy.
Yes.
It's a very old school. It's a brand. I think most people know the brand well.
Yes.
It's a school that is redefining learning now in this current age and stage.
Yes. Yes.
Just before we started this interview, we were discussing children and their behavior patterns.
Yes.
And I fundamentally believe that the younger generation's expectation is different.
Yes.
They are being exposed to very many different things as well.
Yes.
So a school has to redefine itself to understand that and meet that expectation. So school must deliver curriculum, must meet the academic expectation, but must also be able to understand this individual child.
Yes.
And that's what Laiser Hill is. It's redefining learning.
In the spirit of redefining, what can you tell the people that sets Laiser Hill apart from other learning institutions? I've seen guys with all boys school, all girls school, but you guys are mixed and you have such a strong community. So maybe you can tell the people what sets you guys apart.
So a lot of parents are concerned about mixed schools.
Yes.
And that is something that I would like to say to them they needn't worry about.
Yes.
Yeah. And the reason for that is that you do not live in society in a secular gender. So Syokimau residents cannot have boys only in one area and girls only in one area.
Yeah.
They have to come together, and this is what we saw here as well. We saw a concert where boys and girls from all over were together. So you have to train your children to live in that together environment.
Yes.
You have to train your children to understand relationships are not necessarily about forming strong attachments at a certain age group. Yes, you explore. I cannot stop a teenager from exploring. That is, we are human beings.
Yes.
And you expect children to want to explore.
Yes.
But mostly you want them to make responsible choices as they grow.
Yes.
And Laiser Hill fundamentally believes that responsible choice can only be if you have actually given them the opportunity to express themselves in a responsible manner.
Yeah.
And that is why we believe we are a very strong brand.
Yeah.
We, of course, have a very independent, separate dormitory facilities. We have a strong system in the institution itself that governs the two genders.
Yeah.
But they eat together.
Yeah.
They study together. They sleep separate.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe you can tell the people how long has Laiser been?
Laiser Hill has been in existence for 45 years now.
5 years.
Yeah. It's an old school. It has a very large campus.
Yes.
In today's time, you will very rarely find a campus as well structured as that in the middle of a very urbanized environment. Ogata Rongai, as you know, is a growing city, and it's actually closing in.
Yes.
But when Laiser Hill was constructed, at that time there wasn't a single shop within miles of Laiser Hill. It was like you're in the middle of wilderness. But once you enter Laiser Hill, you are in heaven.
Yes.
In terms of its environment.
Yes.
It's extremely peaceful, very calm, very uncluttered. So as an institution, we have worked very hard not to keep building.
Yes.
We have retained our original infrastructure without too much of addition. Yes, we have added a few modern labs here and there. We have added a modern audiovisual facility. But generally speaking, we've kept it uncluttered.
Yes.
A lot of space for the children.
Yes.
It's an amazing environment.
It sounds, the way you describe it, it sounds really amazing.
I can guarantee you that once you enter Laiser, you do not think you are in a urbanized environment. It's very, very cool and calm and peaceful.
Yeah. So, in line with the change of the curriculum what curriculums do you offer at Laiser Hill, and how do they differ from the rest of the things?
So we offer both the international DEXEL, we offer the international DEXEL IGCSE curriculum, also the IAL, which is the international A-level program, and we offer what was the 844 and now the CBC program. We run the two systems parallel. Teachers are individualized to the two systems, but we run them collective together, so they're not separated in separate campuses. And so we like to say, as we discussed in the panel on the first day, that we've been offering CBC from day one. Our national curriculum was also taught with the pedagogy of learning, of making the student involved, of research, of teaching the child how to not cram. So we are not fussed about the change. We think the change is good in terms of what it will produce at the end. Even as we talk, when we interact with the student, when we interact with the parent, you will find that most parents will tell you that a child who's doing CBC is definitely more informed, is definitely more interactive, is more curious. That's for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Maybe less in terms of results at the end, I don't know. But I think that parents are already seeing the difference. We are. We are seeing that our child who's doing CBC is aligning himself with the IGCSE, with the international curriculum. So I think that if we are able to roll it out as a country properly, if we are able to make sure that our outcomes are well structured in terms of grade 9, what are the results, what are the expectations of the exam, then I believe that our child is going to be competitive internationally, definitely.
So do we expect to see Laiser Hill again for the Syokimau Trade Expo next year?
I look forward to coming.
Yes.
I look forward to being part of a community that is growing.
Yes.
I know the community is growing fast.
Yes.
I also know there's so much the community is offering. I was personally very impressed by a recreational center in the middle of the community.
The community,
It makes a very, because this is a very urbanite environment, where you have people living in flats, maybe no gardens, stuff like that. So the opportunity for the child to have a safe place to go and swim, play football, be around. I'm very impressed by that prospect. I can see that this is going to grow into a very strong community.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your Expo experience. And we'll see you again next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you for asking.
All right.